so good to be sat back in front of a camera. Okay, this was definitely the right decision. Definitely the right decision. Oh my god, guys. I'm so excited to be sat here in front of a camera right now. And big smiles, big smiles. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be one of the 2 videos that I said was going out while I was on my break, which probably will only last for like a couple of weeks, maybe 3, and then I'm going to be back with like revision videos and stuff. So be sure to comment down below what videos you would like from me when I come back with regards to exams, A-levels, GCSEs, university exams, revision, study in general. They're coming back with a bang. That's the content we're going back to, kids, because I've missed doing it and you've missed seeing it, and we're all done with vlogging. If you haven't seen my little announcement, it's on my like channel page. I'd really recommend that you go read that. It will be explaining like where this channel is going and everything like that. Second thing, obviously you can tell that right now I'm looking even more pale than I was about 10 seconds ago, and that's because I'm in a travel lodge in London because I'm doing a 2-week work placement at Sky News, which is very exciting. And if you would like me to do a video about like my career, what I want to do with my life and sort of what I'm doing, like I've got my lanyard on, look, work experience, but yeah, if you would like to see that video, then absolutely give this a big thumbs up and comment down below and I'll do that. But if the lighting is changing constantly throughout this video, blame the window, because my only lighting right now is the sun, which is not very flattering. Anyway, I'm gonna shut up about myself now and start talking about you guys. So today's video is actually about you and whether you want to go to university, because that is the age-old question. These days there are so many options that aren't university, apprenticeships, like work placements, you name it. Like, you don't have to go to university anymore. So the question is often umming and ahhing in people's heads, like, do I go, do I not? I don't know. It's a difficult question, and I'm here to help you answer that today by doing a cheeky should I go to university Q&A riddled with my own personal experience to hopefully help you decide. And today's video is actually very kindly sponsored by Uni Compare, who you guys know that I love because I've worked with them before. And if you haven't heard of Uni Compare, basically it's an app that allows you to compare courses and different universities. So if you do decide to go to university, this is such a useful app to decide what university is for you. So it's super simple and easy to use. Like, it really could not be more simple. You can go on there and you can look at different universities, both in your region and in the rest of the UK. It's really easy to calculate your UCAS points, so you can filter together which universities are suitable for your grade range. As well as this, you can search by course. So for example, if I were to put in modern languages, because that's what I study, or well, I'm not really studying it at the moment because I've not done any work, well, anyway, then you can look at different universities, and not only can you look at sort of the course, the campus, and what all of that is made up by and how it's examined, you can also look at the average starting salary, the UCAS points required, where graduates go. Like, it gives you all of the information, including accommodation costs, living costs, you name it. It'll be on there, and even financial aid that you can get. So it's really easy to compare and contrast different universities. So on notes, you can basically write down universities you like, what you liked about the course, and it's all in one place. So when you come to make a final decision about what university you want to go to, it is really easy. It also has an application checklist, which is literally perfect for open days. Like, make sure you get the most out of your open days, and this app will really help you with that. So there is also the option to upgrade if you would like to. It's £6.99 a month, but if you're not receiving that support at school, or you'd really just like an extra helping hand in applying to university, this is definitely the app for you and for all of your friends. So with this support option, you can basically have chats with past students and graduates, and it's all just like a normal chat. Like, you can add gifts and you can just have a normal conversation, and you can find out from them what it's like to go to these universities and everything like that. And it's very like personalized and tailored to you, which is so useful if you're struggling with that and you really need some personal advice that you can't get from anyone around you. So if you guys want to find out more about Uni Compare and download the app, because it is so helpful, like, I literally cannot emphasize how helpful it is, then I will leave all of the information in the description down below, and you can go and check that out, and be sure to tell all your friends about it as well. Thank you to Uni Compare for working with me on this video. You guys know I love this app. I literally rave about it all the time, and if you do decide to pick uni, it's definitely the one to go for. So on to the main section of the video. I basically asked you guys on Instagram if you could give me some questions that could help me guide you in the direction of, is uni right for me? Is it not right for me? I don't know what I'm doing. Siri doesn't know what he's doing either. Like, it's all just a mess. So hopefully I'll be able to guide you in the right direction with this video. So the first question is actually a really interesting question, and I think that this is definitely one that a lot of people think about a lot, but they don't want to talk about. And it's, somebody said, like, I have a boyfriend, like, how would I cope with the long distance? And this is such a tricky one, because moving to university is such a big change in your life, and being away from someone that you love and you care about, like, it's really, really difficult. I know many people who have made it work and are still dating the people that they dated when they came to uni, but at the same time I do know many people who within the first term broke it off because it was unsustainable, or they found other people, or it was just too much of a change to be able to cope with having a relationship back home and like university. I know a lot of people that have like managed to keep it fine though, so I really think it depends on the personal situation. I would say, and this is one piece of advice that my mother gave me, is never ever ever let like a boyfriend or significant other dictate your career / life choices. Like, never move somewhere just for that person. Like, as much as you love them, you need to keep yourself. If you have always wanted to go to uni and you've always wanted to go to a specific uni, there has to be that part of you that is separate of that. And if you don't think that you can make it work, obviously that's really difficult, but you do have to think about that. As in, if you don't go to uni because of your significant other, that's going to breed resentment, and then it may just not work out in the long term. I mean, I'm no relationship therapist, I'm obviously not very good at relationships, but you know, I would say it is possible to make it work. But also, if you're really, really struggling, I'm sure there are plenty of unis within the vicinity that are really good, but don't let your love life dictate your career life. Yeah. Okay, so somebody asked about struggling moving away from home. So this is another factor that will really influence whether or not you decide to go to university. So for me personally, it really wasn't a struggle at all. With my job, with YouTube, I travel like a lot anyway. I mean, I'm away from home for 2 weeks now, and it just doesn't bother me in the slightest. Like, I'm not really that much of a home bird. I love my family, but I can cope with being away for long periods of time without really much of an issue. So for me, that was never a factor that I even thought about. I was always like, well, I'm gonna go to uni and it's not really gonna be that big of a deal. Sometimes, you know, you do just want to go home, and like, that's okay, but it depends on how much of a home bird you are. I know that Molly, for example, really struggled with it. I know some people that stayed at home and went to a uni near them so that they could stay at home. There are so many options. If you're going to struggle with being away from home, that doesn't necessarily mean that you can't go to uni, because there are so many good universities across the country that there's bound to be one within commuting distance. But also, it's definitely worth considering if long term you want to stay at home, whether uni is the best choice. What's more important, the course or the uni? So on the proviso that you decide to go to university, never ever ever let the uni pick the course. Always let the course pick the uni. You have to love your course. That's another point, really. There is no point going to uni if there's nothing that you really genuinely want to do. Like, it's actually pointless. You'll be paying £9,000 a year for like a nightlife, which you can get if you stay at home. Like, there is genuinely no point. I cannot stress enough that if you're watching this video and there is nothing that makes you want to get out of bed in the morning, and there's nothing that you could see yourself studying for 3 or 4 or 5 or 6 years, it's so not worth going to university. If you want to go into a more like vocational course, or you don't know what you want to do yet, then either do a subject that you're passionate about at uni, or if you don't have a specific academic subject, like me, for example, languages, I don't want to go into speaking the language, but that's what I studied because I'm passionate about it, then there's no point in going to uni. There's just no point. Like, do not go to uni and study something that you hate, because you will drop out or you will hate it, and it's just a waste of money and your time, really, you know. What do you do if you're terrified to go to uni but your dream job needs a degree? So if you are going into a career where a degree is necessary, which I may emphasize actually that less and less now, a degree, you don't need a degree to do a lot of things now. A lot of careers, even law now, are starting to do apprenticeships, and you can become like a paralegal or an accountant without having gone to university at all. But if your dream job requires a degree but you're terrified about going to uni, you need to weigh up the two. So is the fear about uni overriding how much you want your dream job? Like, do you think it will be worth it in the long run, or do you think that perhaps finding another job would be possible, perhaps one within the same bracket that doesn't require that? But it depends on how terrified you are. If the thought of uni like literally physically paralyzes you and your soul, then perhaps it's not your dream job. Perhaps there is something that you can do that will take you down a route that's a lot more accessible for you. So definitely worth thinking about. Okay, I have a question about how much you should rely on your gut feeling versus what like teachers and academics and your parents are telling you. I like cannot stress enough how much with something like this you really have to go with your gut. So for me, like, I knew I was going to go to uni, and I knew it wasn't a question because I've always like been like, yeah, I'm gonna go to uni, and the fact that I've never questioned that was very much like, you clearly want to go. I never had any doubts or reservations or fears really about moving away. So for me, it was just a given. So that was me trusting my gut, but quite subconsciously. Whereas if you're umming and ahhing and you have a deep feeling in your gut that it's not somewhere that you want to be, and you really know that that's exactly how you're feeling, and your parents and teachers are telling you otherwise, you have to listen to yourself on something like this. I cannot stress enough like how much of a change university is, how much of a big investment of time it is, and how much of a big investment of money it is. So if you have even the slightest reservation that's really making you hesitate, then it's definitely worth considering whether that's the path for you. So many people never question it and are happy to go to uni, and they never have this. But if you've got those insidious doubts in your mind, I think you need to ask yourself why. What is it that's holding you back? And if it's something that can be solved, then go for it. But if not, it's definitely worth looking at other options. Absolutely. Do you think you could go to uni if you've got like C's or worse grades? I genuinely think if you want to go to university and you want to make it work, it does not matter what grades you've got. There are so many amazing universities that accept such a wide range of qualifications, and if you are passionate about bettering yourself and your education and learning, then you shouldn't let grades and letters on a piece of paper hold you back. It might limit the amount of universities that you can go to, but I know so many people that went to university when they were much older, or they did an open university course. Like, there are so many options. So if university is something that you want to do, then absolutely research into it. Use the Uni Compare app or use the UCAS tables. There will be a university that accepts what you have to offer, like genuinely. What do you do if you definitely want to go to university but you're not sure what you want to do? So with this, it's a difficult one because I know so many people that want to go to university for the lifestyle, and university lifestyle is fun, like it's free, it's independent, but I genuinely could not see anyone being able to cope with it if they genuinely were not doing something that they really wanted to do. So all of my friends at uni are genuinely really passionate about their course. I mean, it's so long, the interview process for Oxford, that like, to be fair, if you weren't passionate, like, you just wouldn't make it through. So I'm in an environment where everyone like really cares about their degrees as much as they complain about them, and that's what sort of makes it worth getting up in the morning. Whereas if you know you want to go to university but there's nothing that you specifically want to do, what I would recommend is to go on a few open days, like go on like work experience, try out a few different career fields, talk to people, and maybe wait a year, take a gap year and dabble in different fields and see if you can find something. Because genuinely, like, as I've already said, I cannot stress enough that there is just no point in going to university to sit a course on something that you kind of just picked so you could go and drink and have fun and live the uni lifestyle, because the biggest part of the uni lifestyle is your degree. So yeah. Living costs, this is such an important one. A lot of people do not want to go to university because of living costs, and I so understand that. So there is a lot of financial support available at certain universities. It's definitely worth looking at which universities offer more financial support than others and which ones are just generally more expensive. So speaking from experience, Oxford is such an expensive city to live in, but they are really good with financial support and aid. So if you're struggling, like, they are quite a rich university, and I know that there are loads of other universities as well that are really hot on financial aid and things like that. So that is definitely a consideration. I would never let money hold you back from going to university, because there is student finance, there are scholarships, there are grants, there are loans, or perhaps you could consider, if it's really difficult, I know a lot of people that have stayed at home to help like mediate the costs. And you have to remember as well that it's a loan, so you won't be paying it back till you're earning money, your actual tuition fees. So if you can find a way and an arrangement or some financial aid or a bursary or living at home that will help cover the living costs, then I really wouldn't let money hold you back. Because the one good thing about the student loan system in this country is that the amount of money you get is proportional to your household income. So hopefully you should be able to be financed enough to be able to go. If you have any like real concerns about money and financing university, then the student finance website is definitely somewhere to go, but please don't ever feel like you don't have a right to go if you're struggling with income, because that is so not the case. Should I only go to university if I'm 100% sure on what career you want? Oh honey, no. Like, course, definitely you need to know what you want, like what subject you want to do, but there is absolutely categorically zero requirement to know what you want to do. Fair enough if you want to be a doctor or like something in the sciences, you'll need to do a degree in that, but even biochemists and like biological sciences and like chemistry and engineering, like they don't always necessarily just go straight into that. With humanities, obviously it's a lot wider. So for example, I do languages and I could go into essentially whatever I want within that field. So I could go into law, finance, business, publishing, journalism, all sorts of things, translating, like anything, as long as I specialise after my degree. So I'm probably going to do a postgraduate. I'll talk about this in another video, but yeah, so I can do what I want, and there's always room to like specialise after your degree. Do not think you need to know your career, absolutely not. Literally, if you spoke to anyone in our year group, there'll be about 10% that know what they want to do, and that's okay. Okay, the last question, I think this is a really nice one to end it on, is how is university a valuable experience for life? So personally, I think that uni has changed me as a person in both the good and bad ways. I know for a fact that when I graduate, I will not be the same person that I was when I started, but that's not like, that is not to say that not going to uni like will change that. So on the pros of going to uni, I would say independent living is like the #1. Just learning to like fend for yourself, to think for yourself, lots of contacts and stuff at uni, obviously the information that you get from your degree, social life, you meet new people, you expand your horizons, live in a different city or a different country maybe, and like there's just lots of things that change you in a positive way. Negatives / benefits of not going, I would say with apprenticeships you're getting paid, so you're going straight into the world of work, so you can skip all of the debt. Also it can be really difficult, it's a difficult time, and it can be quite isolating. Oh Siri, shut up. It can be there are cons as well, so it's a lot of money, it's a big investment to make, it's long, you know. Basically, to sum up this is a very long video, I just think you have to decide what's right for you. There are so many pros and cons of both, and you're not necessarily going to be any better or worse off if you choose either route. And I would say just go with your gut, whatever feels right for you, do it. I know so many people that have gone to uni and have regretted it so much and then dropped out and done an apprenticeship and preferred it. I know a lot of like my family members perhaps don't want to go to university, and that's okay. Like, I'm never the one being like, oh god, you've got to go, it's a life experience. Like, you can experience life outside of the university bubble, and if anything, you're thrown into like life way earlier than people that go and spend 4 years drinking and writing essays like me. So yeah, I think you have to make a decision that's right for you. So thank you so much for watching this video. I'm so happy to be back and filming these videos. It feels so much better than vlogging. I'm really excited for the next like term, and I'm hoping that switching back to this format will be really good for my mental health and just generally good for me personally. Thank you so much for all the support on my announcement, and thank you so much for just generally always being there through the ups and the downs. It may be a bit of a down at the moment, but I'm definitely on the way back up, seeing what I want to do in my life and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, but so make sure you like, comment, subscribe if you're new, and I'll see you very soon. Well, no, soon, not very soon, soon, with a whole host of new sit down content. Yeah, boy. Okay, see you later, guys. Bye.